Hey, pretty smart and sporty girls. I'm Sky. Today I want to talk about being in class in school and how to not only just survive but also thrive. And I think this is very important because you save yourself so much time by going to class, actually paying attention. Because, as I mentioned in a previous episode, you have to go to school, so you might as well just make the best out of it. So, the first step to surviving school is to actually show up. Don't skip classes unless you are really, 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 really sure that being there is not benefiting your life whatsoever at all. And if it's not allowed for you to skip school, don't do it. Honestly, it's not worth it. I say this with love, but you have a lot of free time usually. And okay, it depends on your school. I know that class schedules in some countries are very, very, very tough. But honestly, those students, they don't skip class anyway, so I'm not speaking to them. Um, I I'll give you an example. For example, the way that it goes down a slippery slope once you start skipping school. I was in school, and in Canada, we only had 4 classes, so it really was manageable. You could go. But there was this girl, she was not necessarily a friend of mine, an acquaintance, and she had this new boyfriend, and it was really like, oh, he was an exchange student. He was from Switzerland, I think, somewhere in Europe, I'm not too sure. And they would hang out, and because he was an exchange student, the time he spent at school there didn't really matter to him at all. So they would skip class. She was kind of like I don't know if it's correlated with her personality, but she was really like skater girl, kind of, chill, not taking anything too seriously and stuff. So she would skip as well. And one time they skipped, and the school where I went to was very close to the beach, so it was really nice. And by the beach, they had a little foresty area anyway. So in that forest, they went there, and there was a big swing. So someone built a swing, just put a little rope on a branch of some random tree and like kind of build a swing like this, but it would drop you into the water because it's by the sea. So you kind of swing into the water. And they would be on that swing while they skipped class, but while she was on the swing, the branch broke, and she actually, I think, or the both of them were on there together. I think it was the both of them together. Anyway, they got severely injured. She broke her arm, I think. He had something as well. And then they were in this forest. The parents didn't know that they were there because they had skipped school to go, and they had to, while being severely injured again, kind of work their way out of the forest to seek help, to get an ambulance, to go to the hospital, to be taken care of. And it's just this horrible event. And granted, it's worst case scenario, but even this is like, it shows you that it's just uncomfortable to be caught in a mess like this when you're supposed to be in school. And then also, if it is something important, you're not supposed to miss it anyway. Like, imagine it's something very important. You say, like, oh, I just don't really feel like it. And again, there are serious concerns of where when you should not go to school if you're sick or if you have debilitating anxiety or something. But this is addressing the case of you saying, like, oh, I just don't really feel like it. I'm kind of lazy. I don't want to go. It's twice as much work to learn the material by yourself because you don't have the context that the teacher would give you. You're lost. Now you have to watch YouTube videos if you find a good one that explains it to you, or read your textbook. And if you're already not in the mood to go to the class, it's gonna be even more difficult to learn it by yourself. So, long story short, go to class and be sure that you do not miss the important information, because sometimes also teachers tend to give tips for exams in class. They drop it in like a sentence on the side. They're like, oh, da 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 da, oh, this is relevant for the exam, da 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 da. And you won't hear that necessarily from your friends if they give you your notes, because not everyone pays as much attention. Maybe they missed it, and then you're more likely to miss it anyway. So go to class. And then make sure that you take good care of yourself as well, that you get enough sleep the night before. I know teenagers, I had terrible insomnia when I was in grade 10 and 11. Not good. Oh, it made going to class not fun. So, really, get enough sleep, eat healthy food, and then don't do drugs. Kids, it's not fun either. So, make sure that you have a good time. I'm speaking as though I'm like 78. I'm not. I just turned 20, so, but still, drugs are never good. And then, as I said, you're already there and you want to make the best of it now, okay? So actually listen. Don't go. That's the worst thing you could do. Go there and then be on your phone and not listen at all. Like, at that point, might as well stay home. Because why would you go? No, I'm being overly dramatic, but am I? No, I don't think so. So go to class, don't be on your phone. I heard this thing once where it's just, I just found it funny. It was the teacher saying, "Oh, how," or a student asked the teacher. I don't think this happened in my life. I think I read about it online. Anyway, it was the student asked the teacher, "Oh, how can you tell when someone's on the phone?" And the teacher replied, "Oh, easy. No one looks at their crotch," and then starts laughing. So I was like, I don't know. I found that very funny, and it made me rethink all the kids who stand there hiding their phones underneath a table. How obvious it must be. So yeah, that's not worth it. Also, again, because you're just missing everything, so what's the point of you being there? You can always be on your phone. Instagram does not run away. YouTube does not run away. It'll be there. You can access it after school. It's fine. And then save yourself the anxiety and actually do your homework. You'll be prepared to actually be able to work in school. And I was notorious not do my homework, like skip homework in a phase in my life. But it would be the major source of why I was afraid to go to school. Like, why would you self-inflict pain like this? Don't do that. Just do your homework if you can manage to fit it in. For me, it was a laziness, but also I have a very busy schedule. That's why it's called Pretty Smart and Sporty. Have a lot of active hobbies, so usually it was just my lack of time management that would prevent me from doing my homework, also because I didn't necessarily feel like it. But having homework would save me from the anxiety of the teacher going around at the beginning of class checking everyone's homework and me not having it. And this really creates a negative impression on the teacher. I was also graded on having my homework in most of my classes, so we'd have a participation grade. So the amount of times you spoke up in class would be counted and then evaluated, and you being on time and having homework would count into that mark, and then that would be 50% of the final grade. So it was worth doing. And even if it's not counted, it will still be extremely helpful. It just saves you time studying for the final exam. If you have your stuff together when you're into class, you can actually let the information into your brain already and then build on that when you're studying for the exam instead of scrambling a week before the exam trying to get it together. All right. And then another thing is that what I said already, that it creates a negative impression to not have homework, is that psychology, it plays a role. Like, the teachers, they are just teachers, they're humans, and as much as we'd want them to be unbiased and not influenced by anything, they are gonna be. So if you can make yourself look as though you are a good student, you're gonna halo effect. That's a concept of psychology. It's essentially where if you have positive attributes, people tend to associate more positive attributes with you. So if you have the ability to display yourself as being a good student, you sit up straight, you look attentive and alive, versus you're slouching and you're constantly yawning and falling asleep and talking and disturbing, like, the teacher's going to be annoyed with you, or thinking that you're not paying attention, and that reflects negatively on you. Versus if you sit there straight, good posture makes you look better as well. So if you want to look even prettier, sitting up straight, very underrated life hack. And it helps create a positive image. So if the teacher's sitting there at 11 a.m. grading your test, you can either think, or she, oh, this kid, she's so annoying, she never listens, she can't, like, there's no possible way she could get an A. Versus, oh, she's usually good in class, yeah, she looks smart, this is gonna be good. Just the attitude itself. That's also a random other tip that has nothing to do with being in class, but having good handwriting that is legible will also save you. Because if the teacher's there again at 11 a.m., extremely annoyed because she just went through 17 other exams, and then it's your exam, it's all on the same topic, it's all extremely boring, and then your handwriting looks so bad that she cannot even read it, that's going to be annoying. It's going to take much more time. So just do your teacher a favor, have good handwriting, and also present yourself well. That's going to be as well. And don't be afraid to look like you try hard. It's usually such an embarrassing thing, like, oh, you're such an academic, try hard. But honestly, who cares? I mean, it's difficult. You have a social reputation. But first of all, my opinion, if you want to hear it, it's not uncool to try. You just have to try in a not Weasley way. I'll talk about that more in depth in a different video. But please don't be afraid to try hard for your academic success. Because like I said in the first video, it's there forever. It's going to open doors versus shut them. If you don't have good grades and a good final GPA, you might not be able to attend the university you want to go to. And if you don't want to go to university, it's probably gonna play a role in the types of jobs you can go to, or the types of opportunities that present themselves to you, like a scholarship, for example. I know so many students who want to study medicine. Medicine has a very, very strict GPA requirement, and they are waiting for a spot at university, any university. I'm not talking about Harvard or something. Any university for them to allow, or to allow them to study medicine. And I just met a guy a couple weeks ago. He's trying to study medicine, has been waiting for 4 years. Another friend of my mom's colleague just got into university after waiting for 3 years. They could have saved themselves a lot of hustle if they had better marks, because then they could have gotten in straight without any hustle. So again, if you're trying too hard, just hit them with the, yeah, okay, but I have a future ahead of me that I need to try hard for, because it's a future that is worth trying hard for. Because what's the other thing? It's, oh, I didn't try at all, I was just slouching around and not doing, like, how is that better? I heard that in a different video about fashion recently, where it's fashion and dating, where it seems like it's a competition of who can care less, which is like, why? You only have one life. Not to sound too much like the 2012 YOLO times, but it's really worth making the best of it if you can. I recommend it. Exactly. So make sure that you have that in check. That's all I want to say for today. Otherwise, I'll be talking for way too long. I hope this was inspirational, and you can look forward to me sharing more of my advice in the future. Until then, I hope you have a good time in class. Don't be too nervous about it, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Love from Sky.